What's good, YouTube? My name is Diva Tequila. Welcome to my channel. If you're seeing this, I appreciate you being here and I hope you're having a wonderful day. With the release of XDefiant, I've decided I kind of want to just rip the band-aid off and get into content creation a bit. I have a tendency to hyper-analyze whatever game I'm playing, and I've really always wanted to make best loadout builds, best build videos, go over patch notes, etc, etc. And this is my great introduction into that, so I appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining me on the journey, and without wasting any more time, we're going to get straight into what I think are the 3 best loadouts for XDefiant. I recognize that the game has just came out. These builds are going to change, the attachments are going to change in the next few days and weeks as the meta becomes more established, but as I've been getting into the game the past few days, these are the weapons that I think that anybody can just pick up, play, and immediately compete. So for assault rifles, I think that the M4 is just too easy. The time to kill of it is too consistent, no recoil whatsoever, so you don't have much to worry about, and the attachments honestly I think are just meant to enhance the play style that you do. I think most of the games are pretty competitive on time to kill. I think XDefiant has done a really good job of kind of bridging the gap of TTK, of Call of Duty being extremely fast, Apex being pretty slow, and I think it's right in that happy medium to allow some outplayability and also still allow a lot of versatility in weapon and attachment selection. So the attachments that I go with, the barrel, I like the stabilizing barrel just to give it that extra bit of staying on target, that extra bit of tracking. This game, like I said, has a pretty quick time to kill, so hitting all your shots really matters, and I think the stabilizing barrel is the perfect one for that. The angled front grip, I think the only real downside to it is slightly slower movement speed, but if you look at the detailed stats, you've still got the 0.9 meters per second movement speed, which is standard, so that 5% is basically negligible, so you're getting aim stability and horizontal recoil for free, in my opinion. A lot of people will use optics. I think the reflex sight is a really good optic if you want to have that clear sight picture. I don't think it's necessary with the M4 because it gives you a really clear sight picture, but if you want to drop off one of these attachments, I do think that the reflex sight is the best. The quick magazine option I think is just a cheese attachment, has no downside to it whatsoever, and I think it's actually going to end up dramatically increasing your average DPS over the course of the game. You're going to spend a lot less time reloading, and you also have 5 more shots per magazine, which might not seem like much, but when you're bouncing from target to target to target as you're covering the objective, I think having more shots per engagement and quicker re-engagements with the faster reload speed is just too good, and there's no downside to it. You see all of these have downsides. So that's pretty nice. The heavy grip, rear grip, is another attachment that I think is just beautiful cheese. It has no downside to it. The ADS hit flinch is going to help you stay on target while you're getting shot at by people, and also that additional horizontal recoil. You're not going to miss shots. You know, all you have to do is just point and click. Is that easy? Is that easy? The stock, I enjoy the padded stock. Again, you can see that I really try to focus in on having no cons for any of the attachments. I think that most of the attachments you can kind of work around getting all of the pros that you want without having any cons, which I think as time goes by they're probably going to adjust some of these attachments. But like I said, as the game has just come out, this is the cheese. This is the easiest way to just kind of dominate the competition. So the padded stock is definitely the way to go. And that's what we have for the M4. You can see the pistol that I'm using. Copy that down if you like, but you do whatever you want. And most of the time you're going to use your primary weapon. For SMGs, which is going to be huge for our runners and gunners, the people that really like to flank, like to aggressively take the position, the objective, whatever, I think the MP7 is the easiest one. I see I have the reflex sight on it at the moment. I don't think you necessarily need the reflex sight. For me personally, my eyesight's not the best, and as I'm doing like close quarter tracking, people are bouncing around and stuff, it kind of just helps me to stay on target. And I don't think that you necessarily need any of these barrels. You could drop the optic, I think, and put on the lightweight suppressor, just because you can see that again doesn't have any cons to it whatsoever. Allows you to stay off the mini map a little bit better. maybe be a little bit more aggressive, but that's up to you. I'm not using a muzzle or a barrel at the moment. I think that the angled front rail is extremely good. It gives you additional aim stability and the horizontal recoil control, which it really doesn't have much vertical recoil control. The horizontal recoil should be the only thing that'll throw you off target, but this will help with that. And if you look at the -5% movement speed, again, when you look at the detailed stats, which, by the way, having this, the actual analytics behind the advanced stats right here in front of us, I think is huge. I think that makes the quality of the game just that much better. But anyways, having that -5%, you're still staying fast. It doesn't really matter, especially because as you'll see, we have the collapsed stock, so it kind of negates that. Like I said, the reflex sight I think is the best sight, gives the clear sight picture, but also doesn't. I don't think you'd use a 3x scope on the SMG, but it doesn't give you the ADS time debuff anyway. I think the hollow is a bit too clunky for my taste. The reflex gives a really clear sight picture. Again, the quick mag is just a free cheese attachment, especially with an SMG where you really want to be able to just stay engaged the entire time. 5 extra shots per magazine is huge. It allows you to sustain fire more, and 15% reload speed is pretty fucking nice. The quick draw grip, I think is really good. Actually, the sprint to shoot time is basically just like your sprint to fire speed in Call of Duty. It just allows you to go from full sprint to immediately shooting. I don't know if everybody's using auto sprint in this game. I personally am. So having the increased sprint to shoot time is pretty big, and the ADS time as well is just going to give you that additional mobility. The aim stability is -15%, but some of the other attachments are negating that as well, and you really don't have too much weapon sway or recoil with the MP7 anyway, so it really becomes a non-factor. And then the collapsed stock is absolutely, regardless of what SMG you use, this is the best attachment. It has no downside to it. You run 7% faster, and you also have this min-max spread, which is targeting your hip fire. Most people aren't running around and hip firing, but when you get into those weird sticky situations, I think this will definitely help, and having that movement speed is huge. With the additional movement speed, I've noticed that you also slide a little bit faster, you slide a little bit further maybe due to more momentum, and you also have like a pseudo like tap strafe effect we see in Apex, where when you slide and jump around a corner, you actually get to carry that momentum over with you a little bit more, and I think the collapse stock really helps to accent that. And then I think those are like the two most competitive weapons at the moment. Most people you see running around are going to use AR SMGs, but I do think that a lot of people enjoy sniping. They enjoy the feel of hitting a snipe headshot. I think that the TAC-50 is really the only one to use. The other one just doesn't seem to be doing it for me. You'll get a lot more hit markers on that one compared to this one, whereas this one seems like upper torso and up is pretty much a one-hit kill. I use the stealth barrel because movement speed and rate of fire on a one-hit kill sniper, my apologies, really doesn't matter that much, but this allows you to completely stay off of the mini-map. You see it says 0 meters, 0 seconds, so you don't show up on the mini-map, and you also get an increased damage buff to help make sure that if you hit your target, it should be a one-hit kill. The variable zoom scope, I know I've seen a few other YouTubers saying that they like the 8x, a few people just stay on the default. It's really just shooter's preference, but the variable zoom has slightly less of a debuff to the hip flinch, so if you're getting shot at while you're trying to shoot at somebody, it'll make it to where you stay on target a little bit more. It's also a little bit snappier. You see this is -20% ADS, this is -20% ADS, it's 15. I don't think that the 5% is that big of a deal, but I also think the big thing is being able to be in 4x zoom is plenty zoomed enough for you to lock onto people's heads, whereas the 12x for me seems a bit overkill, a little bit cumbersome to try to track your targets with a 12x zoom, especially in a game that's a little bit more movement oriented. So anyways, I like the variable zoom. The quick mag, again, is just a cheese attachment. You don't get the extra rounds with it this time, but you do get the 15% reload speed, which you might as well just go ahead and throw it on. There's no other attachment I think that has better value at the moment. Then you have the heavy grip. which also doesn't have any cons to it at all. Pretty insane. I don't think that the horizontal recoil is going to matter too much, because very rarely are you going to try to take quick follow-up shots with this. It's just probably not going to happen too often. You're probably going to shoot and move, whatever. But having the increased ADS hit flinch means that, again, while people are shooting at you, you don't have to worry too much about your sight jumping around and stuff. So I think the heavy grip is the way to go with that. And the padded stock is broken for snipers. You get recoil recovery, which I said you're probably not going to have follow-up shots, but if you care about that, you'll get it. The aim stability is going to make it to where as you're just passively aiming, it's not gonna move around as much, you know what I mean? It'll kind of just, your crosshairs will settle a lot more. And then again, the ADS hit flinch is probably the best attribute to focus on when you're building your snipers. So there you have it. There's my sniper build. There was the M4, the MP7, and the Tag 50. Like I said, I think these are the three best, most consistent, easiest to just instantly pick up and play weapons at the moment. If you want to get a head start on the competition, look no further. Throw these on. Let me know what you think. Hopefully I'll make more videos like this in the future. Might not always be XDefiant. I enjoy Call of Duty, play Apex. I'd like to make some 2K builds as well. I just finished the Diablo campaign, so we'll see. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you greatly. Love you so much. Hope you have a wonderful day, and good luck in your games. Peace.